Hey there, guys, I'm Arrow in the Knee. I mean, who else is it going to be when you click on my videos, eh? Probably me. So, today, I'm really close to sneezing, and we are going to talk about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that happened last night. I've pretty much only just woke up, so excuse my hair. I haven't had a chance to wash it, and I really can't be bothered. I have the World Cup to watch. I don't need to wash no hair. I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, watched the Money in the Bank pay-per-view last night. It was really good. Barring results, if it sucks sometimes when results make the great wrestling and the great pay-per-view matter a lot less. So I guess we start from the beginning. First on the pre-show they had Bo Dallas have a confrontation of sorts with Daniel Bryan, which was what it was. I have no idea why Daniel Bryan was being such a cunt to Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas just like, you just gotta Bo leave. And it's like, why would you be mean to him? I guess because Bo's meant to be a heel and people are meant to hate him, but I don't think people do. I think they really do see him as in... Because Bo Dallas hasn't gone around beating people up after his matches or anything like that. It just hasn't happened. It's a very, very strange kind of heel. And I think he'll get there, but I don't... I felt like Daniel Bryan was just... I don't know. It seemed like Daniel Bryan was just being a big old dick. Like, it just didn't make sense. It was like, they wrote the script and they were like, oh, Bo Dallas is a heel. And he comes out and interrupts Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has a rebuttal for him. And it's like, that's how they wrote it. But that's not how it comes across. It comes across really differently since Bo isn't truly being booked as a heel. He's also 9 and Bo. I think he's 10 and Bo. Either way, that was a thing. Alright, so the first match of this pay-per-view was the Wyatt family versus the Usos, who I cannot stand. I cannot stand the Usos. I have no idea why they're over. I have no idea... Twin tag teams bother me a lot. They've always bothered me. The Basham brothers bothered me. The Bella twins bother me. There have been other twin tag teams in the past, and they've always been fucking terrible. There was the Bashams, the Bellas, all start with B. There was one in the 90s, which... I can't stand twin tag teams. I really do not like the thing. And anyway, twin tag teams work so much better as heels. Am I wrong? Because you can do the old switcheroo and stuff like that, and... Anyway, that's my little rant on the Usos. This match was really good. The Usos, as much as I do not like them, are quite good in the ring. Although, they... Sometimes you can have too much high flying. Because, I mean, when you jump, and I hate calling it high flying, it sounds fucking dumb. It does. He's a high flyer! It's like, really? Really? He's a high flyer. If you say the two words, high flyer, over and over again to describe a person... just keep doing it, and then you're like, that actually does sound really dumb. Same as powerhouse sounds dumb. He's a house of power. Okay. But yeah, when you're using too much of that that jumping around stuff, it makes the opponents look really dumb. Really dumb. So when you've got to stand there and wait for the Uso crazy, which, God, Michael Cole, please no more. Michael Cole is the worst thing to ever happen. He's the cancer of wrestling. People say John Cena's the cancer of wrestling. He's not. It's Michael Cole. It really and truly is. I mean, do you guys remember when John Cena was around in the 2006-07 and you had JR calling his matches? It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad at all. It really wasn't that bad. So yeah. The Usos only have 2 moves, by the way. Jumping and hitting you with their body and kicking you. And And when you kick someone in the chin so many times and they don't go down, and kick them this way, that way, kicks like that, the super kick that Shawn Michaels used to do and Dolph Ziggler used to do as finishers, when you're using that and not getting the pin, it completely ruins the credibility of that move. And the super kick should be something that outright knocks you out. Because if you hit that if you hit that in real life, the person, the way that they do it, and as spot on as they make it sound, that person will be knocked out, and they will not be able to kick out. I don't care if they're 7 feet tall, they will be knocked out. So that bothers me. The amount they jump around and hit these high flying moves bothers me, because it makes the bigger guys look dumb for being like, oh no, just waiting for them. And the amount of kicks they throw out, and just out of nowhere, just kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking. They do it a lot. Go watch their match. It's really bad. The amount of kicks they use just as filler moves that they could be using a suplex or a crossbody, or it's just really bad. Kicks like that are not good. It makes it ruins credibility. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent already. I usually do in these videos, but it was a good match. It was a very good match. I was really pulling for the Wyatts, who debuted the worst wrestling theme ever last week, and because it was so bad, they had to change it 1 week later to some. I haven't listened to it again. It sounded better. I'm not sure. It was just a theme. It was good. I liked it. I think. But it definitely wasn't as bad as that piece of shit harmonica accordion bullshit. Goodness, oh god, I sneezed. That actually came quicker than I thought it would. Alright, so yeah, the Usos get a non-deserving win. I would really like the Wyatts to hold those titles, and they really should. Why wouldn't they? Especially since Bray is slowly creeping up the ranks as a future world champion. Having his guys around him and having the titles would be very good. It pumps up their credibility, and they kind of need the credibility back, because they're getting beat by the Usos, who are, they're great wrestlers and they're high flyers and stuff like that, but they're not like almost 7 feet tall monsters. These two, Rowan and Harper, are really big guys. Maybe it's because there's two of them in the ring together, or maybe it's that they're the lackeys of Bray Wyatt, but they could be like the next, I'm not saying they would be as popular or as great as them, but they could be the next Undertaker and Kane with their size. I think that's actually a bad comparison. Just another huge big guy, like the big 6'8", 9" people who are just really good in the ring. I mean, you've seen Harper is really good. Like, really, really good. He's really agile. He's a high flyer and a powerhouse. And yeah, these two need their credibility back, because they're getting beat by the Usos, who are just little guys. They're like this tall. I mean, and in tag team competition, maybe you can be like, oh, okay, it was tag team competition, great teamwork. And I like that about tag team, because you can have a team that's great teamwork, and they will always beat two world champions, let's say. Now, I've always liked that about tag team wrestling. But on Raw last week, we had fucking, it was Eric Rowan getting beat one-on-one by an Uso. It was like, great. What a one. Yeah, these guys need to get their credibility back, because the Usos definitely don't have credibility to beat these guys. Well, they shouldn't have the credibility to beat these guys. It really bothers me. It really fucking does. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing whatsoever. Anyway, we're still on the first match. I'm ranting about these guys. It was a really, really good match there, in which I wanted to see the Wyatts win, and they didn't. The Usos win with, "Ooh, so crazy!" Oh. Could you imagine being backstage in the writer's room? They're all sat there with the rotisserie chicken and everything, and they're like, alright, so we've got to come up with finisher for the Usos. For now, we're just like, they're high flyers. Let's come up with a great name. One of them's like, how's about Uso crazy? And they're all like, yeah, let's go to lunch. And they just go, and they never think about it again. That's how it happened. Michael Cole's cancer. So the next match on the card, I think, looking back, was, you know what, give me a sec. Alright then, I am back and I've pulled up the results onto my computer, because, you know what, if you would have said to me, Shane, list off all 8 matches that were on the card, yeah, 8, I probably would have missed 3 of them. That's how bad the mid-card is right now, I guess. They could have had Bo Dallas on the card. Anyway, the second match was Paige, the women's champion, and you know, I'm not ever gonna call it the Divas Championship because it's so dumb. It's women's championship versus Naomi, and Naomi's with other Funkadactyl. I hate calling them Funkadactyls. I love how they're keeping the music from Brodus Clay after Brodus got fired. It's like Brodus like, they're using my music when he was having that feud with Xavier Woods, and it was all like, he's using my music. It's like, well, this bitch stole your music now and you're fired. God, Brodus could have been huge, by the way. I know he was huge, but you know what I mean. It sucked. It really did. Brodus shouldn't have got fired. But yeah, this match, you know what, it's actually quite good. I wish that they didn't keep paying so much attention to Cameron. She's the other Funkadactyl on the outside of the ring, who very, very obviously was getting upset when Naomi was winning and was happy when Paige was winning. I hate bad acting in wrestling. I mean, sometimes you have to be overly emotive because you've got all those people around the world and they need to know the story. They need to know the story because, you know, they're not reading a book. They've got to read it in your face. So sometimes you've got to be a bit emotive. But this was so bad. She was like, ooh, I'm so happy when Paige is winning. And she's like this. When Naomi's winning. It's like, oh, we understand. We get it. We get it. And Naomi, and I've watched a couple of matches on Raw when I can't be bothered to skip them, with Naomi in, and she's actually very good. I really think she's probably the best wrestler out of any of the divas, women. Actually, I'm not sure how good Paige is, because I haven't seen too much of her. Even though she's been champion for a while, she's been losing a lot and hasn't really been wrestling a lot. But Naomi's quite good. She is quite good. I wish she wouldn't use that ass move, which just is dumb as fuck. I mean, if a person's gonna duck your legs, yeah, when you do the leapfrog, why wouldn't they duck you the second time? The rear view should not work. It really shouldn't. Because everyone runs through your legs. The first one, you'd think they'd do it the second time, right? Because that's what it's just a leapfrog. And they just accidentally run into it. The rear view, that's so fucking dumb. Seriously, what virgin WWE creative decided that was a good idea? Like, oh, and then she can use her ass. Oh yeah, I love that booty. Fucking people, man. People make me want to go. I'm not going to say that. I was going to say go on a killing spree. People make me wish people got fired from WWE creative. Ah, the rear view. Paige wins this, of course, because they're not going to have Paige lose the title until Paige has enough credibility, I guess, to be on the roster without being champion and not be bumped to the bottom of the card because she's new, I guess. Or maybe they're just hoping to God that AJ will come back and we can pop the title on her from Paige and maybe have a couple of good matches. I'm just going to say, they're never going to have a women's championship match main event Raw again, are they? The glory days of Lita and Trish Stratus, and you know what? They weren't that good either. So Paige wins this. Cameron is really, really, really happy about it. And we all know that because she's good at acting. Oh, God, really? So the next match, oh my God. Now I remember why I forgot these. Adam Rose versus Damien Sandow. So this Adam Rose bloke is such a cunt, it's unreal. Maybe I'm missing something? Really, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm a lemon. I don't know. Speaking of which, there you go. There's a lemon. It's a lemon. Are you being a lemon, Mr. Lemon? No. Lemon. I'm a lemon. I can't stand that guy. And Damien Sandow was playing some guy from American history. Where I'm English, so I don't understand that shit. He's some guy. Everyone was talking about it. I didn't care. Damien Sandow's burial is going further and further. He's not going to be able to come back. He's going to be like John Morrison. He's going to be like Drew McIntyre. He's going to be like MVP. TNA. Here we come. Oh, what's Sandow Damien doing in the Impact Zone? God, my scope just went off. But yeah, this match was dumb. Oh, and Adam Rose kicked out of Damien Sandow's finish. I was so mad at that. I assume that's still his finish, the full Nelson Slam. It at least was for a while. It was called the You're Welcome, which sounds really fucking dumb. Creative need to die. Seriously, I can almost guarantee that like they have almost no input on what they do. The You're Welcome. The You're Welcome. Because Michael Cole was announcing and he was like, it's the You're Welcome. The You're Welcome. He's like, why wouldn't you say you're welcome when it hits, you know? And just announce it as you're welcome. That sounds much better. The You're Welcome makes me want to explode. And Adam Rose is just, I don't get it. I get that some people can party, but like he's doing a party thing, but they're PG, so no one has any drinks. There's no like. When you party like that, you have to be smashed out of your face or on some sort of drugs. No one dances and parties like that sober or in the right mind. So these people he's brought in are supposed to be smashed and he's supposed to be smashed? No one can party like that. There's no such thing as a party like that where people aren't drinking or doing some other mind-bending drugs. So that either means that Adam Rose has the worst party ever, or he's smashed out of his face when he goes to the ring. And with the PG thing going on, I think, yeah, this gimmick just doesn't work in the PG environment. He should, by all accounts, have like just a beer in his hand or something and just downing it, and all of his friends should have a drink in their hand and they should be like, hey. Actually, that'd be a really fucking good gimmick. Why wasn't that around in the Attitude Era? I mean, The Godfather The Godfather was great. The Godfather was literally a pimp, so he's like going backstage and fucking every single one of his hoes, literally the hoe train. Oh god, I hate Adam Rose. I'm a lemon. But fuck that guy. He needs to drink some more before he comes to the ring. And I can't stand his accent. Guess it's meant to be English. Alright, so we're moving on to the semi-main. The semi-main. Excuse me, I am burping. The semi-main event, which is the Money in the Bank briefcase ladder match. Which involved, and I'm going to look over here just to... Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, Rob Van Dam, and Jack Swagger. Alright, so this match showed how much people either love Dean Ambrose or hate Seth Rollins. Because when Dean Ambrose came back out after he was injured, you know, well, I'll get into it, or I'll do a full review of the thing. But when he came back out after being injured, the crowd went insane. And when he was going to the top, everyone was going insane. So people either, you know, the casuals really, really hate Seth Rollins or really love Dean Ambrose. I think they do both. I think it's kind of a bit of one, bit of the other. But this match was really, really, really good. I love Money in the Bank ladder matches. And I don't usually like ladder matches that... And I'll talk about this one later, actually, because this actually happened at the same pay-per-view. I hate ladder matches where it feels forced. The original ladder matches, if we go back and remember, were Shawn and Razor for the Undisputed Intercontinental Championship. And after that, they had two. These guys, mid-card, smaller guys. I mean, Razor wasn't small, but you know, he wasn't huge. He was, and yeah, even with him being quite big, Razor, he wasn't huge, and Shawn was small, so he could carry the match. No Mercy 99 with the Hardys and Edge and Christian for the money bag, which was the one that got them on the map. It's not TLC that got them on the map, it was that. And those two tag teams were tiny guys. You know, tiny guys who could fly around, do some great things. And then you go on to not TLC, the Triangle Ladder match with the Dudleys. Dudleys were bigger, but, you know, they had a game plan and they could take bumps and stuff like that, and they did. And then you go on, and you go to other ladder matches, and then it slightly goes into, oh, we need to have people having ladder matches because we've got a gimmick pay-per-view coming up. Like, oh god, there was a Sledgehammer ladder match with Kevin Nash and Triple H. Two bigger guys who put on a really terrible show, not because they suck, but because they were cornered. Because they were, I think it was the TLC pay-per-view, they needed a ladder match. And they wound up on the ladder match, you know? I think it was. I might be wrong. But they felt they needed a ladder match. And it wasn't even for a title, it was for a sledgehammer. We all know how well that went. So, the point I'm making is this first ladder match had, and I'm going to look now, the biggest guy in this match is Jack Swagger. And Jack Swagger does like the Swagger Bomb. And the second biggest is Rob Van Dam. And Rob Van Dam jumps higher than most people. You know, there's synergy. There's absolute synergy with the ladders and the jumping around and the high flying. Whereas the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, which I'm going to look at now, John Cena, Kane, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, Bray Wyatt, Cesaro. I mean, if you look at that one, it's like these are guys who, firstly, are main eventers, so they don't want to take too many risks to hurt themselves, yeah? So they're not going to put the same effort in as the guys that are before. Kane is really big, really hard to do things with. Sheamus is quite big. Who else? I'd say Del Rio and Cesaro are the only guys who are small enough to really, you know, do stuff. And still, these people are, you know, coming up to being main eventers, so these guys don't want to take risks with their health, which, you know, is fair play. But when the WWE is like, we need to have this as a ladder match, it's like, come on, really? Roman Reigns is big as well, yeah. So this first match was really, really good because there was so much action and great stuff happening, and the story, it was the match was basically Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. That was the match. No one thought at any point that any one of those two wouldn't walk out with a briefcase. And the crowd was behind it. Absolutely amazing. Some really great bumps. The backdrop onto the ladder was amazing. I think that was to Rollins. I might be wrong, but it was really good. And of course, Kane comes out to screw Dean Ambrose and give the case to Rollins. So Money in the Bank winner was Seth Rollins, which I checked the betting sites beforehand, and he was a huge favourite. So I pretty much knew Seth Rollins was going to win. I was actually pulling for Dean Ambrose. That would have been kind of fun. But Dean obviously has a bright future, which is what I'm really happy with. And I really like Seth Rollins' music. At first I was like, ugh, he went from the Shield theme to this. It's actually quite good. I was like, you know what? I can live with this. I can actually live with this. Oh, man. Let's see. Alright, I think we should move on to the next match. Yeah, really, probably match of the night. It was either that match that was match of the night, or the Wyatt family versus the Usos. Uso 1 and Uso 2. So yeah. Oh my god. I'm looking at them now. The next 3 matches are complete filler. No championships on the line. No anything on the line. So first, we've got Goldust and Stardust versus Rybaxel. I like Stardust a lot. Cody Rhodes is showing that he can pretty much do any gimmick you give him, and he really has done dashing, the disfigured undashing. He's done Stardust. He's done generic Cody Rhodes. Done part of Legacy. You know, being better than his father and stuff like that. And he's done great with absolutely every gimmick you give him. I hope he gets a decent run one day. He's doing really good at Stardust. I like Stardust. And the great thing is they haven't made him a carbon copy of Goldust. You know, because Goldust was more, I think the word they were using was ambiguous. Sexually ambiguous. Or androgynous. But basically they mean be gay. Act gay. Do gay things. And he doesn't really do that nowadays. He used to back in the day. He'd do gay things. Like when he kissed Ahmed Johnson. Oh, that's the greatest thing. I was looking for that match. It's on King of the Ring, 1996. It's the Intercontinental title match between Goldust and Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson's a big, huge black guy. Goldust is like, you know, Goldust. And he knocks him out and gives him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And yeah, he ends up getting murdered for it and losing his title. It was great. That's great. I love that shit. But yeah, they haven't made a Stardust like all like touchy-feely. In fact, he looks like he models himself like a clown or a mime. The way he moves, like this, just moving. I like it. I really do. I think they work really well together as brothers. I think they did in the Brotherhood. I'm glad they've changed the music because fuck, I hated the Goldust and Cody Rhodes music mashup. It was really bad. And by the same token, I really like the Rybaxel theme. It sounds really cool, and I really like them as a team. They've meshed really well. I really like Ryback and Curtis Axel. I've been a huge Curtis Axel fan for a long, long time. Even when he's Michael McGillicuddy. I'm not being funny. When you're given that name, Michael McGillicuddy, it's like there's no way back. It's like fucking Husky Harris. Those two, you know, they've done well for themselves. They've at least stayed employed. And Husky Harris, aka Bray Wyatt, is doing pretty damn well for himself. Really wish he would have won this one. He didn't. I could have done with it. I was shocked to see Bray Wyatt not really have a chance. I really thought Bray Wyatt was going to have the help of Rowan and Harper during the final ladder match, which he didn't, which shocked me. I'm not meant to be talking about. Yeah, but Goldust and Stardust win the matches. A roll-up, I think it was, to finish the match, which I thought was strange. Cody used the Crossroads. I'm not sure if that's what they're going for his finish, because he used a different finish in a different match on Raw. I'm not sure if they're going to keep him with Crossroads or something else. It's not really that big a deal, because this is just filler. I guess just to introduce more to Cody. Could have been used for Bo Dallas match. I do like Bo Dallas. I need him to get to 21. and Bo, and then get beat by The Undertaker. Great time for The Undertaker to just pop back and say hi. You know, he's just got a few more appearances. He doesn't even need to take any bumps, just needs to tombstone the guy. And he'll be 21-1, just like Taker. So next is Rusev versus Big E. You know what? This exact match happened at the last pay-per-view. This exact match. Rusev versus Big E, with Big E being like, I really like America, and Rusev being like, I really, really don't like America, and I really like Bulgaria or Russia. Still very ambiguous where he's from, and where he lives, and who he cares about, and if it's Bulgaria or Russia who we really are talking about. Vladimir Putin's face photoshopped really badly onto the White House. Oh god, I just had a thought, I might do it. But yeah, this match was actually quite good. I like it when two guys can have 10-15 minutes, and it really does mean nothing. I mean, all this match was another, not a squash, another match for Rusev to win. And, oh, there goes my phone. Yeah, it's just another match for Rusev to win, and Big E is a really good worker, and Rusev, I've been saying for a long time, Rusev is really good. I hate that he's been stuck with this gimmick that he likes Russia and shit, and he doesn't like America, because it sort of saps a lot out of you. But he's amazing. He's so agile. He reminds me of Umaga, but thinner, stronger, maybe even faster. He's just really amazing. He is a super athlete. He's just so good. And I hope that this gimmick doesn't crush him, because this really is one of those gimmicks that does kill you. Look at Vladimir Kozlov. Who else has done? Muhammad Hassan. He might have... actually, that wasn't really Muhammad Hassan's fault. Then the bombings in London happened, and they didn't want a terrorist gimmick going on in WWE. So, yeah, that sucked for him. But yeah, racist gimmicks in general don't work. Or xenophobic, whatever you want to call it. They tend not to work. They really don't. And I feel bad for the people who are stuck with them, because, I mean, look at Vladimir Kozlov. Vladimir Kozlov was very good. I thought he was amazing. Like, some people were just like, oh, he's just generic Russian. And when you make him generic Russian, when you make him generic, I don't like USA, I like Russia, when you make him like that, he is generic Russian. But if we brought him in as something else, or doing something else, why do they have to hate America? Why? Russians don't hate America that much. I know Russians. They don't give a shit. They just love Russia a lot. Oh god. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just the whole thing with the Cold War. I mean, we're about 30 years removed from that, you know? We're kind of not at war anymore. We don't need to keep making these stories about Vladimir Putin. God. Yeah. Rusev wins this match with the camel clutch. And oh my god, I said this last fucking pay-per-view and I'm going to say it again. How many of these racist gimmick guys have to use the camel clutch? Really? We had, oh god, what's his name? Oh, the other guy. The, Kali's brother who got fired recently. Jinder Mahal. He used it. There was, obviously the Sheik used it. Muhammad Hassan used it. Fucking Rusev is using it. What is with... It's like, you're racist. You will give you the camel clutch. Which is being called the accolade, which I actually like as a name. It's alright. Yeah, Big E loses by submission. Big E almost powered out. I was getting really, really mad at that. Because Big E almost powered out of the accolade. He didn't. He got close, but he didn't. But he almost did. And I was gonna go insane, because that should have been even someone getting that close to powering out of that camel clutch when it's set in that much should have been reserved for a Cena or a Roman Reigns, or in fact Roman Reigns it should have been, because Roman Reigns is the only man ever, and I think this is right, the only man ever to break the STFU of John Cena, which was wasted on Raw. It happened on Raw. He broke the no one has broke the STFU, not even the world's strongest man. Really? Yeah, Rusev is good. I like Big E as well. He's a very good worker. And the second it's a main event. Oh god. Layla versus Summer Rae with Fandango as the special guest referee. Well, all I took from this was that Fandango likes triangles, and you know what? I didn't even watch this match. Let's move on. So the final match was John Cena versus Kane, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, Bray Wyatt, and Cesaro, who was also with Paul Heyman. This match wasn't as good as the other one, for the reasons I stated before. All the guys in this aren't willing to take big risks. All the guys in this are much bigger guys, so they can't do those high-flying moves. It's a strange one. This was very strange. The story in this match is Kane wants to help Randy Orton win the title, which didn't happen. Super Cena won it. It's really bad. There's a couple of things that bothered me about this match. Firstly, Bray Wyatt didn't have the Wyatts come and help. Also, Bray Wyatt did his intro and said, "I'm here, not we're here," which sort of makes me think they're kind of trying to distance him from the rest of the family. I really think they are. Especially since they're getting their own theme music. I think they might be distancing the family from Bray. Try and make Bray a bit more on his own. Which I don't mind, because Bray... Well, Bray's Bray. Bray is the guy who talks. Bray... I mean, they were just the muscle. But, yeah. I thought Bray would have some help from the Wyatts. No help. I thought Cesaro might have help from Heyman. Maybe Heyman pushes over the ladder. Didn't help. When John Cena was going for the title, Triple H didn't help. I was shocked at that. I was like, Triple H just sat out there and he didn't help. I was like, okay, that makes no sense. Triple H didn't go pedigree John Cena and give Seth Rollins the okay to come and cash in. It was very, very strange. Oh man, my poor chest. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about this match. There wasn't that much good stuff. There was a really good uppercut by Cesaro that I really liked. The end of the match was the gayest thing ever. John Cena gives the attitude adjustment to Kane, and then he pulls Randy Orton off the ladder and gives the attitude adjustment to Randy Orton on top of Kane. Cena wins, lol. We all knew, really, that John Cena was going to win this match because the spoilers for SummerSlam came out, and that was John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. The thing I hate about that is that we know that the next month's pay-per-view means nothing. You know what I'm really scared of? I'm really, really scared that John Cena's next opponent is going to be Rusev. Like, I am terrified they're going to pair it. You don't come back from John Cena. You don't come back. He's going to power out the Accolade and win. He crushes you. I know people use the word bury a lot, but I'm terrified that Rusev is going to be the next Fed to Cena. Because Rusev hasn't lost. He's had two biggish matches at pay-per-view. It's scary. It's scary that Rusev might be the next one. Because I don't want him to fail. And everyone fails when they lose to John Cena, pretty much. I mean, Bray Wyatt, he's looked a bit less imposing since 2 losses to Cena and a win that needed 5 people to help him. 4 people. Little Johnny, little Jimmy. and the rest of the Wyatt family. And John Cena almost still won that. But yeah, I think that's about it. That's all I have to say about this. John Cena wins title, and we know he's going to win the next one. SummerSlam's going to be good. I can't wait to see Brock in a match again. Hopefully Cena decides to lose this time, because he owes Brock a win that Brock should have had. In fact, that was probably the biggest burial I've ever seen, was John Cena beating Brock Lesnar. Because Brock needed to win that. He just came from the UFC. I know he got hit by steps and chains and shit, but whatever. I'm going to leave this here because I get mad when I talk about John Cena. And I know it's cool and shit to hate John Cena and all that shit. And I don't hate him because of that. I hate him because when you have someone like that on top, you just don't make stars. And everyone says that, and it's true. Look at Damien Sandow. Look at Damien Sandow dressing up as Magneto on Raw. Alright, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna get mad. See you later, guys.